Hey guys, SuperJ here, and we're going to be covering Blade today. Before we continue, I'd like to point out that I do things a little out of the box. I don't like to follow the norm when it comes to things. So you're going to see a few things you're going to find questionable. Just bear with me, and I'll explain it later, and even do a Cosmic Midtown so you can see that it actually works. Alright, so first things first, his moves. The moves that I use are all ranged, minus Party Crasher, which I'll explain later, and his movements. Now we're going to go to his talents and traits. First off, Blade gets a damage bonus per strength or fighting, 4% for each. So these are the skills that you're, the bonuses you're going to want to plus up in order to get damage. Then you have his thirst. That's self-explanatory, I don't need to explain that. And finally, his defensive traits. Health on hits, very helpful. Defense rating. Dodge ratings, not so much, especially if you're seeing that strength here actually gives you deflect rating. Don't know why the developers did that, but the first trait we're going to go over is Steady Regimen. You're going to want this because if you notice, Blade uses ammunition. Well, since all of our moves, if you look at them, have ammo costs, Steady Regimen will allow you to refill your ammunition every time you use the serum. So this is a key to this build. If you're going to go full range, if you're going to do this, you're going to need Steady Regimen. There's a backup to this. However, you can go with Ruthless Efficiency, where my namesake restores your ammo. However, you will notice that my namesake right here has a 30-second cooldown. That's a long time to wait if you're out of ammo. Whereas the serum has a 12-second cooldown. So just to give you an idea of the reason why I chose the Steady Regimen. Second, we're going to go with Vicious Wounds. This build revolves around high damage, low crit, and the bonus Grievous Wounds. Damage to Grievous Wounds is actually very beneficial to doing steady damage. The buff to attack and movement speed is actually pretty cool, but it's an added bonus. Second, we're going to go with the Pheromones here. Now, reason for that again is we're full ranged. This gives you an extra charge for your Hypertoxin Grenade. Increases the death explosion of the grenade. Just an overall good move to have for this build. Secondly, we're going to go with Expanded Arsenal. Now, Expanded Arsenal obviously is essential. Gives you 150 ammo cost reduction. It also increases the damage to Whittle into Kindling, which happens to be our primary move. When it comes to this build, this is essential as well. And lastly, we will have Vibrantium batteries. Now you'll say, well, wait a minute, look at Vampire Hunter, it's freaking awesome. And it is freaking awesome. A little too awesome, actually. They had to nerf it a little bit. However, since we're going full ranged, the bonus damage to UV grenades, along with the extra charge you get for UV grenades, allows us to keep our grenade rotation kind of, so you always have a grenade. I like to point out, while we're talking about UV grenade, that it does not crit or brutally strike. So keep that in mind as we go throughout the guide. For the Infinity system, I mean, it's really your choice. I don't have a lot of Infinity points, but for the mind, absolutely 100% go with the ammo costs. You're going to burn through a lot of ammo. Sometimes you might have to use the serum before you hit starving, which means if you use it before you hit starving, if you notice here, you get a double duration if you're starving. Well, sometimes you have to activate it a little earlier, depending on whether or not you're burning through ammo. For here, obviously picking up the strength due to that's one of his primary stats, and I like to pick up the signature damage because the signature does do a lot of damage. For here, my preference would be this is really up to you. I like the health on hit. Um, However, you can also go crit damage. It's really your preference. Critical hit chance. There's no solid way to go this route. For here, Soul Gem. Um, Obviously the fighting, because I mean that does increase your damage, and I like having a lot of health, so I picked up the base health. However, you can also go brutal damage, which does affect obviously my namesake because it always brutals on the final knife. For the space gem, my preference is the base damage area. However, if you find that you are actually dying a lot, I would recommend going with the micro warps for the defense rating. And lastly, the time gem. There's only one real option here, and that is the attack speed, and which helps with whittling to kindling. Alright, hero synergy. I'm only going to really cover 3 main ones you need to have. You can really choose whatever heroes you actually have. But what you want is obviously Blade for the attack speed and the health on hit. However, due to Blade's lack of defense per se, or at least compared to some other characters, I like to go with health regeneration. And when I say that, that means Deadpool, Iron Fist, and She-Hulk. That gives you a health regeneration of 0.75%, which does help out, with staying alive. Also, which I don't own him yet, one of the important ones to have, since it does raise his strength, it was Ant-Man, that raised +1 strength, and then down here, we've got War Machine that gives you a fighting. So those are the ones that you're going to want to definitely have. What doesn't hurt is Storm, because you will blow through a lot of ammo. War Machine gives you ammo. There's another ammo one in here. Oh, Iceman gives you ammo. So I mean, these are things that, as you're going through, you can get. Again, there's no definite here. This is just whatever heroes you have. You have them. I mean, we don't all have loads of money to load on the game. Or at least not all of us do. All right, let's go over his abilities. His items. So first off, I mentioned health on hit earlier, and we're going to start with the relic. I like to use the relic of Lemuria. You can use, really any relic you want. This is my preference. Now, when it comes to your catalyst, you have to have gain health when you hit an enemy. That's just a must. I recommend the fighting over the strength.
You called me in to help, and all we are doing is standing around?
Magic. All you do, when it comes to the catalyst, I recommend fighting over the strength. The reason for that is critical hit multiplier, where strength gives you deflect rating, which, if you notice, Blade doesn't have a lot of that. So it's just a preference of mine to go with fighting, but you get what you get. One of the most important things about this build is the crafted fixes. You're looking at it, you're like, wow, where's the crit damage at? There's a reason for that. Well, first, you'll notice that UV grenade here doesn't crit or brutally strike. So putting crit damage here won't affect UV grenade at all. And we're going high damage here simply because this build does not rely totally on my namesake to do damage. This revolves around all of his skills. Damage rating increases the bleed for for grievous wounds. It increases all your damage, and it does work. I'll show you later. The attack speed, honestly, is simply because I got frustrated when rolling my level 1 affix, and I just said, whatever, I'll stick with the attack speed. But if you can manage to get a damage rating in your level 1 affix, that's awesome. You do want the damage shield for the cosmic. That's kind of beneficial. As far as a mystical bonus, that's whatever you get, you get. As far as artifacts are concerned, the key artifact in this build is the Blessed Flag, Scroll Empire. Now, all these artifacts, or most of them, will give damage rating. So this build revolves around very high damage rating to put out very high damage. It does help crits, so I mean, the more damage you have, the more crit you will do. However, as you know, the actual crit damage rating will be low. Next item is the Spider Clone Serum. If you can get a cosmic one of these, freaking awesome. One of the key things here is the health regeneration, the fighting, and the health. I'm a big advocate of having a lot of HP, lots and lots of HP. You can never have too much, and it's just a good item for it. Next we have Sabertooth's Enhanced Furry Mane. This one's cosmic. Again, you have more health regeneration, lots and lots of damage rating. The bleeding power crit rating, that's freaking awesome, because Whittle into Kindling is a bleeding power. The defense rating doesn't hurt. I mean, doesn't have HP. I would rather have HP. The cosmic item, my preference would be, all attributes increased by 1. But another good one is the health regen, which is 150 every while you're in combat. Lastly, we've got Fred Duke's bodysuit. Gives +2 to strength, some damage rating, and again, some more health to get that higher health pool. As far as blessings, I like to go with Odin for obvious reasons. The +1 all attributes for having offensive, defensive, and utility. For offensive, I like to have Loki for the extra damage to ranged powers. Volstagg for the defense rating, and I like to go with the Blessing of Sif, mainly for the ammo cost reduction. As far as a Uru, again, I'm a huge advocate of staying alive. I like to go with the defense Uru with the Vikings Vitality for the bonus 2000 HP, which is freaking amazing. However, some other ones, actually, you can go with, if you're going to go crit, Heartbreaker would work. Blood Barrage is a good one for straight damage, and Dupe's Inspiration would work as well. Other artifacts, if you wanted to go crit or brutal, brutal mainly, would be the Gem of Accursed, Heights Formula, and the Doom Saw. These 3 artifacts I've actually started off initially with, and they're pretty good. You do decent damage with them. My namesake, brutes for a lot with these, but this is not what this build is about. These are just other items. As far as a ring, if you miss the event, you don't have a sling ring, then Industry City Signet would work, or a Bloodstone Demon Band would work as well. Something with fighting or strength, physical damage. Those are the things that would help. As far as a legendary, due to the fact that you will use a lot of ammo, the M Crane Crystal is preferable. It really fits into this build well. It gives you ammo, it gives you more HP, it gives you 1000 damage rating, and it gives you 1000 crit rating, which is, really works with this build very well. As far as uniques, the Hannibal's King Hand Cannon is my preference. It's got the highest damage rating, it gives you 3 fighting, and my preference again for challenge would be fighting, due to the crit that you get from the fighting over the strength. Now if you don't have a Hannibal, or you can't get this item, another weapon that you can use would be the heavily modified Mercenary Assault Rifle. This one will work as well. It gives you range damage, physical damage rating. Again, this build revolves around a high damage rating. So these are things that you would want. Um, the original coat, I mean, this is Blade's normal, unique, nothing fancy here. The Sash of the Ronin, nothing fancy here. Gives you ammo, strength, fighting. It's pretty good. Boots of the Spider Hero, again, one of Blade's uniques. Nothing new here. As far as the slot 5, I like to go with the uni power for several reasons. One, it gives damage rating. Again, high damage rating. The Blade's other uniques do not give damage rating. Gives 3 strength, and also gives health. Again, I'm a huge advocate on health. However, if you happen to get a hold of a cosmic, because the cosmic items do give 1000 damage rating, if you get a hold of a cosmic with +4 fighting or strength and some health, by all means, wear that as well. Again, having HP and the damage rating is the goal that we're getting at. For a insignia, I like to rock the Blaze insignia. Again, I like to have health. I just, when you're running raid content, you just can never have too much HP. I don't think I even have enough, to be honest with you. Some other artifacts you can use would be Spider Woman, damage rating, area powers, some health, Taskmaster, the strength, the crit damage. I mean, Taskmaster in general is, a go-to if you really don't have anything else. Dagger wouldn't hurt, brutal damage, range damage rating. These are all good artifacts to have, or insignias to have, excuse me. I skipped the medallion, but we're going to go to that now. So I like to rock the Hydra Agent medallion. Again, it gives damage rating, it gives strength, and it gives attack speed, which really helps whittle into kindling. Just a great overall medallion for this build. You'll notice I have over 6,000 damage rating. Some other ones, if you just don't have, or can't get this, the Scroll Medallion of Bravery. This is mainly for the Brutal Strike build. If you're going to go Brute, these are the items you would go along with this. Again, Taskmaster. If you just don't have anything else, you really can't go wrong with this. Crossbones is great, freaking awesome. You get 1 strength, 1 fighting, and +1 attributes. You get the attack speed, the physical damage rating. It's just a bundle of joy in this medallion. Part of me wants to wear this sometimes over my Hydra medallion. Now, we're going to go to Cosmic Trial. Now, I will not be using my ultimate during this trial.
We have a breach. Not on your life.
before a mortal hydra.
Hydra.
About time you saw the light.
Here we go.
Vile base creature! Eradicate all non-humans! I hope you come back, so I can slice you again. No! I will have my revenge, for the Red Skull shall always return.
Well, thanks guys for watching. If you have any questions or complaints, or you just think I'm retarded, please let me know below in the comments. Thank you again.